Hello guys, gonna be going over the MLB PrizePicks slate for Monday, July 11th here. Got a doubleheader, so we do have game 1 of the Royals and Tigers early in the morning. For the first inning runs category, got one. That's gonna be the Padres and Rockies over on this first inning runs prop. Do think that at least one of these teams are gonna score a run. It's in Colorado, Coors Field, the second best there is ballpark. Usually it's the first, but this year, it's behind Cincinnati, Sean Manaea, Jose Urena. Manaea's a good pitcher, but Jose Urena is not. And both these teams, because it's Coors Field, it's 11.5 run total, highest one on the slate. These Rockies are very good against lefties. They just don't strike out. Manaea, his stuff, he's not a bad pitcher, that's the thing, but these Rockies are just very good when they're playing at home and against lefties. So you have both of those working for them. And then for Urena, he is awful, especially against lefties. And he also walks a lot of guys. So that's going to just put guys in on base. And then you have someone come to the plate. Maybe it's Machado after Cronenworth doubles or something. Or Voit is up to the plate. Just these guys like Hosmer, he's had good numbers against Urena in his career. It looks to be a pretty threatening, at least top half of the order for the Padres against Urena here. So I like both sides here offensively. So that's why do like the over for this one. There's one game that isn't available. That is Scherzer and Fried. So the Mets and the Braves. That would be an under if that's available. Let's go to strikeouts first. So originally Spencer Howard. I'm not sure if Fado was just added or not, but Spencer Howard from the Rangers, he was on the board, but because there was some speculation on maybe he was just going to start Tuesday and Glenado was starting Monday, so they removed all of Spencer Howard's props. But if we do get Spencer Howard back, I would take his under 4.5 Ks, but really it's his pitches thrown. It was at 78.5. That would be my favorite play of the day. So he's not available right now, but if he's confirmed starting, I would think that they would just put up those props again at the same numbers, and Spencer Howard under 78.5 pitches. That would be my favorite play because he hasn't exceeded that number and he's just on a short leash. Even in a good match against Oakland, I just have trouble seeing him hit that high of a number. For what we do have on the board right now, Alex Cobb at 4.5, taking the over, but this one's kind of like a tier 3 borderline personal play because Alex Cobb, his numbers, he's been one of the unluckiest pitchers, in the league. His expected ERA is over 2 full runs lower. Expected batting average, all these numbers, they're just really good, but somehow all of his hits, when the ball's put in play, they just become a hit. It's really weird, like if you look at all of his starts, how that happens, but his numbers, they look great. Everything, the percentile rankings, it's a lot of red for a pitcher who has a 4.74 ERA and is 3-3, 137 WHIP, but he does get a start at home, so that's going to help pitcher-friendly ballpark in San Fran. And looking at his pitches, sinker, split, and curve. For the curve, it's the third pitch for Cobb, but Arizona, they are the 5th worst team against the curve, and in the split, negative 0.92. That's about league average. That's actually 16th. Right here. So, it's a okay spot, I would say, in terms of the pitch types. But when you look at Cobb again, the chase rate, 96th percentile, that's what Cobb gets. But the thing why this isn't a play that I feel like would be better is you look at this one, which is swing and strike percentage outside of the zone. Arizona is tied with the Dodgers for the lowest swing and strike rate on pitches outside the zone. So that's a concern that I have, but the pitch types, that definitely works in the Cobb's favor. Looking at the K rate for Arizona, this is the whole season. Away for righties for the Diamondbacks, they do strike out the 5th most at 24.6%. So that's another thing that's why I like Cobb. But if you shorten it to a smaller sample size, like the closer you get to now, say like the last month, they really have lowered their strikeout percentage. Like they are the second least team, 18.2%. So I don't know if that's just like a small sample size. They've had some games. I think They were in cores recently, so that of course is going to help your K percentage. But like, I think Cobb, if he's just going to continue to be this unlucky, then I mean he's definitely quite on a streak of unlucky outings, and I think there's definitely going to be better days ahead. That's why I kind of like this one, but again, there's some factors that I don't think this is going to make Cobb like a standout play. For pitcher fantasy score, the first one's going to be Brian Bello, 24.5, taking the under against the Rays. So the Rays are going to be without Wander Franco, Kevin Kiermaier, and they have a lot of injuries right now. But this game will be at home, and that's pretty important for these young rookie pitchers. Like, when you're young, you usually do tend to play better at home. And this is actually the second matchup for Bello. This is the second career start, but it's going to be the Rays again. For Bello, his first outing, it wasn't like terrible, but he wasn't good. Like 4 innings, 4 earned, 3 walks. The walks are an issue, and the Rays will walk. Only 2 strikeouts. I would think he's going to strike out more guys just because, I mean, you're taking out some of the guys that don't strike out from the Rays and replacing them with guys that strike out like 30%. So I think he'll get more strikeouts, but having to pitch away, having to deal with guys that are just tough outs like Yandy Diaz, Harold Ramirez, Ji-Man Choi, these guys make it tough. And this is also going to be a second time that the Rays are going to see him. So that usually favors the batters. And for a young pitcher, that just doesn't really benefit. And I think this is a kind of high, 24.5. He didn't have a good start. The same opponent again on the road. I think this is just too high of a projection. So taking the under, now not going to be the most confident play either because this is a young guy. What if he actually is the real deal and he just kind of had some first start jitters or something. So I do like the under though, just considering all that I said there. And then an over here is going to be Miles Mikolas, 25.5 against the Phillies. So it seems like it's too low of a line. He's taking on Aaron Nola, so that's why the line's probably adjusted. Probably because Nola would be the favorite to win this game. Phillies are going to be favored. But it wouldn't be surprising, right, to see Nola not get the win. And Mikolas, he gets quality starts. And if he can get a quality start, that +4 is going to be huge. We might not need the win. And, the Phillies, they are dealing with some injuries. They actually strike out a lot, especially that top half of the order. They called up Derek Hall. Hall's a big-time K guy. Miles does not walk many guys. And this game, the one thing, again, is that this is a 97-degree weather with 6-mile winds blowing out, so that's going to be good for the hitters. But Miles, though, Cardinals, usually they do play better at home, so that's one thing that he's got going for him, and he's just a better pitcher than what this line indicates. I think he should probably be a little bit closer, maybe like to 28.5 or so. So this one's going to be an over for me. And then on to pitches thrown. This is a weird category usually, but I actually like a few. So Spencer Howard, of course, but Max Scherzer at 90.5 over for this one. He was limited to 6 innings or 90 pitches his first start, but because he went to 6, but he only had 79 pitches. But if he were to be less efficient that start, he would have been able to go up to 90. So I would think that because he was only able to go 79 because he hit that 6-inning threshold, that this line is discounted. If he went like 5 and had 90 pitches, this line would not be a 90.5. Because of the fact, again, he got to the 6 first. This is the line that we have, and I would think he's got to have a higher pitch limit this time around. It's a second start. Maybe it's like 95 or something, but as long as he doesn't end the inning with like 89 or 90 pitches, I think he's going to come out again and start the next inning. Obviously, he's a great pitcher, so I'm not expecting him to struggle, but if he has a usual Max Scherzer start, I think he definitely can go over this 9.5 number. You usually get your limit bumped up. And if it was already at 90 his first start, it shouldn't be at 90 again his second start. So that's the reasoning here. Maybe we do get some word before the game. So this is one that it will move for me, depending on what tier I put him in, based on what the manager says before the game. And then Merrill Kelly, 93.5. This one's an over as well, but pitches thrown, always, they're not going to be like surefire plays. they're just pretty volatile. It's kind of like first inning runs, but for Kelly on underdog, it's set at 97.5. And I don't know why, but I mean, Kelly's gone over this number a ton this season. As long as he's not finished an inning with like 90 to 93, I would think he's going to go back out there. And it really does depend on how many pitches he has after a full inning. So hopefully do get him like in maybe the 80s, and he will be sure to go back out there and hit the over on this one. So that's why I do think this line is just set too low. This one could move to that 97.5 number. So taking the over as of now. On to hitting the first game of the doubleheader. Andrew Benintendi and Bobby Witt taking both of their overs. Taking on Michael Pineda for game one. Pineda's had some pretty significant splits for lefties, so that's going to help Benintendi. Of course, you look at that whip, that's almost double. And the pitch types, Pineda has been like a two-pitch pitcher this season to both sides. Fastball, slider, changeup. Two lefties, fastball and changeup. And Benintendi, we targeted him on Sunday, worked well. 339 batting average against righties, so just very good. I think he was actually not too sure. I think he was named an all-star today. And you look at fastball, changeup, 4-run value, 1-run value, but 331 expected batting average, 335 for the change. So that looks pretty good. He's been good against the change. Like his run value was 10 last year. Fastball always been pretty good, so it suits him well. And then Bobby Witt, for him, it's because Pineda does allow stolen bases, and their catcher Tucker Barnhart, he's pretty much average in pop time, so that's a good thing. Bobby Witt, he's 100 percentile in sprint speed, so that's pretty good. But yeah, it's a good stolen base spot. It's a good hitting spot. So we also might see Bobby Witt bat first. Maybe it's Nicky Lopez, but because they have Whit Merrifield injured, not expecting him to play today. So there could be some shakeups in this lineup. That's something that we do have to monitor. But I like these numbers for 7 for all of these guys. And then the next one's going to be hits and walks. There should be more, but right now, Eric Hosmer over 1.5. Taking a Jose Urania. Eric Hosmer is someone that usually does see the ball pretty well, but Urania, he is a pretty good target, I would say here. Having a pitch in cores, he's had some pretty significant splits in the past. Lefties, looking at 2021, just the homers, the whip there. 2020 as well. So for the pitch types, it is sinker, changeup, pretty much. You look at previous season, sinker, changeup, fast, slider. So for those pitches, yeah, the sinker the Hosmer is not great. He hits better against the curveball, the best against the curveball, which Urania does not throw. But again, Urania struggles against lefties, and Hosmer had a really good start this season. You look at expected numbers, they tell a different story than what his run value is, like some of these negative numbers. And for some of these, I mean, like the changeup, Urania throws that second most, and Hosmer's been, really good against the changeup in his prior years. So that's one thing, and of course, it is course field. And Urania, maybe he doesn't need to hit, Hosmer doesn't need to hit the ball and play. Like a 12.9 percentile, or 12.9 walk rate right now. He's always had walk issues. Hosmer, he has about a 9% pretty much throughout his years. 8.4 average, so that's a good enough walk rate for the prop for this one. Course field always just going to stand out. And then runs and RBIs, there's one. John Birdie against Mitch Keller should be leading off here again. So just taking advantage of the Marlins being back at home. They play better, especially against righties, even without Jazz Chisholm. So I like this one. Leadoff guy, John Birdie. He'll run, he steals, and of course with that speed, he should be able to score a run here if the Marlins can drive him in. And then on to some leans, personal plays. So Jose Ramirez over 7.5. This is a good stolen base spot for him against Lance Lynn. He also has had some good numbers. Yeah, right here, 7.5. Like here, Jose Ramirez, he is 353, 3 homers against Lynn. And for that Hosmer play, he's in 5 or 9. 4 singles, though, a homer. But good news though for taking Hosmer's over. And then Jock Peterson under 6.5. Like, he's not like Peterson. His numbers, 3 for 11. But again, it's that pinch hit risk with Peterson. He's gonna come out of the game when the Diamondbacks do pull Kelly, especially for a lefty. Usually every team's gonna put in a lefty just because the Giants are gonna stack their line with lefties. So that's why I think Peterson is gonna be playing half the game. Then you're gonna get a discount in line. So under for Peterson, but personal play at 6.5. And then total bases. So these are all from Coors Field. Jake Cronenworth, Manny Machado, Luke Voigt, CJ Cron, and Chris Bryant. Cronenworth and Cron would be the two favorites. I think Cronenworth would be a lock. Cron tier 1 though. So if we do get them, I think we do for both. Those would be my favorite plays. But out of this video right now, I mean, probably Scherzer 90.5 is my favorite play, but it's kind of tough because I did say pitches thrown in our volatile category, but I mean, I wish we had Spencer Howard back on the board, had some of these Coors Field total bases, but right now, I guess for the video, for what we do have on the board, it would be Scherzer, maybe it's Bello, but looking at those for right now. But be sure to update you guys, posted plays on Twitter when the board does get filled up. So good luck on this slate, guys. Hopefully we do have a good week. We got Coors, so always exciting for those slates. Thank you guys for watching. And I'm going to be putting out an article actually on DFS Army. Well, I'll post the link down below in the comments when I do get done. So again, thank you guys for checking out this video. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.